G'day guys, I recently picked up another one of these Lenovo 500e Gen 2 Chromebooks for cheap, since I do have a project in mind for it, but unfortunately that project does not involve Chrome OS. So today I thought we would go through removing the write protection and flashing the custom CoreBoot firmware, which should let us boot and install pretty much any UEFI compatible image. We'll just be following along with the Coolstar Windows installation guide, which I will link down in the description below. To use it's pretty simple. We want to select our manufacturer, which is Lenovo. Go next. Since this is the 500e Gen 2 Chromebook, we want to select the Intel Celeron N4000, 4020, 4100, and 4120. Go down to the bottom, click next. And finally, we want to select our Lenovo 500e Gen 2 Chromebook. And next. We want to click on Developer Mode and Flash Firmware, and there is the quick steps basically. The first thing we want to do is remove the write protection. On some Chromebooks, it is annoyingly a screw, and you have to pretty much completely disassemble the laptop. But thankfully, on this model, you do just have to unplug the battery. Nice and simple. Just be using a small Phillips head screwdriver. And later on in the video, I do want to back up my stock firmware. So I've just got a cheap USB flash drive here, formatted to FAT32, which I will store the very small firmware backup file on. So our Chromebook is fully powered off, and we've just turned it over. We want to start by removing all the screws on the back. There are no hidden screws under the label or under these feet, so don't remove the rubber legs. It's just the visible screws. So that's all 9 screws removed. We also want to remove the stylus. If yours has one, just slides out. And from here, we just need to unclip the back. It is held together quite aggressively with clips. If you have a plastic spudger, you can use one of them. I just like to use the old plastic bread ties. They don't use plastic anymore, so these are pretty vintage. And to start in one corner, I like to start where the stylus was and pry around the outside, slowly unclipping, trying not to break any of the actual clips. I removed all the clips. I actually ended up starting at the top left. So that just lifts off nicely. I don't think I snapped any this time, which is good. While we've got it open, you can see absolutely nothing is upgradable or replaceable, apart from the little wireless LAN Bluetooth card. The hard drive and RAM are both soldered. As mentioned, to remove write protection, we just want to unplug the battery. So be very careful when you unplug it. You don't want to snap anything. I find you can get your finger just under the corner. Don't bend it too much and just very slightly pull it out. There we go, it's unplugged. You do not want to damage the battery connector or the battery at all. This is fully charged, it's pretty dangerous, so don't stab it with anything. If you are using a pry tool to open the back off, try to use something small and soft, and make sure you are very careful that you don't pierce the battery, as it can end up pretty catastrophic. With the battery now disconnected, that's the write protection removed. I don't want to seal it up just yet, so we'll just rest the back cover on, but I won't clip it on. We do want to put the battery back in once we're finished, so we'll just leave it like that for now. We'll turn it back over. And since the battery is removed, we'll obviously need to power the Chromebook using our USB-C charger. We've plugged the charger into our Chromebook, and before turning it on, we want to hold down Escape, Refresh, and press the power button. We should get to the recovery screen on here, hold Control and press D. Press Enter to turn off OS verification. Press Control D once more, and that should hopefully boot into developer mode. There is a 30-second countdown in the top left. Just wait till that finishes. It should start changing into developer mode, and you can see another countdown appeared on the top left. We've got about 4 minutes 20 left. It should appear to this screen, so hold down Control and press D again to go into developer mode. Here we are. From here, we do want to connect to our Wi-Fi, so just go through the normal Wi-Fi connection. Once we've connected to our Wi-Fi, on this screen, we want to hold down Control, Alt, and press F2, which is the forward button. It's the third button across from the top left of the keyboard. You've got Escape, back, and forward. We want to hold down Control, Alt, press forward. You should be on this login screen. For the user, we want to type in Chronos, C-H-R-O-N-O-S, press enter. It's important you don't use root, as the next step won't work. And from here, all you want to do is enter the MrChromebox command, which should download the firmware-util.sh script and then run it. The command is listed on the Coolstar Windows installation guide, which we mentioned earlier, but I'll also post the command down in the description below. Once you've entered the command, just press enter, and it should hopefully start downloading. I did have a bit of a typo on my first try, so if you're getting an error, just double check you have the correct command entered. Once everything's in, just press enter. It should start downloading the script. There we go, it's downloaded it, it's now running. It should say you currently have write protect enabled, which we do. We did remove the battery, so we can rewrite that flag. So I'll type in Y and press enter to clear it, and it should reboot. Press Control D again to go into developer mode. Once again, we'll go browse as guest. Once we're back on the Chrome OS desktop, we'll do Control Alt and forward again, or F2. Log in as Chronos again, C-H-R-O-N-O-S. And we want to run the same command we did earlier. With the command manually entered once more, press enter. And we should be on this screen. So our write protect should now be disabled, which is good. It does say FWWP disabled. Perfect. And we do want to install the full UEFI firmware. So we want to go to, press enter. Just be aware there is a risk of permanently bricking your device. So if you've read the warning and you're happy with that risk, press Y, press enter. Once you've read the second warning, type in I accept and press enter. There is one final warning stating that Chrome OS will no longer be bootable, which is fine. And press Y to continue. I do want to make a firmware backup so I can restore it in the future. And as mentioned at the start of the video, I'm just using a cheap 8GB flash drive that I've formatted to FAT32. It is completely blank, but it does mention it doesn't need to be. Just inserting it into the side of the Chromebook. Now it's connected, I'll press enter. There's our Lexar flash drive, perfect. We want to press 1. The backup is very small, it doesn't take up much space. There we go, it's done. When I tried this a few years ago, I did have an issue where it wasn't detecting the flash drive, and it was because it was formatted to, I believe, NTFS or exFAT, and all I had to do was just format it again as FAT32. So if yours isn't showing up, make sure it is formatted to FAT32. I want to remove the flash drive, and I'll press enter. Now it's downloading the ROM. It's very important you do not turn the device off at the moment. It is running purely from the USB-C charger, not the battery, and if anything happens, you will pretty much brick your laptop. Also, make sure you keep your firmware backup we just made somewhere safe, as if you do want to restore the stock firmware to reinstall Chrome OS, you will need that in the future. I believe there is an option to use a generic firmware if you no longer have a backup, but it doesn't always work, so just to be safe, make sure you back up your firmware. There we go, it's just started flashing now. It says it can take up to 90 seconds. Again, try not to touch it at all. You don't want to bump it or lose power. And it does say it has successfully flashed. That's perfect. Press enter to go back to the main menu. And we're pretty much done here, so I'll just type in R to reboot and press enter. It did mention the very first boot after flashing can take a while, so just be patient. We've got a black screen at the moment, but the power light is on, so just don't touch anything. There we go, we got the rabbit. I'll quickly press escape to bring up the boot menu. And here is our very limited UEFI BIOS. So that's pretty much all there is to it. From here, we can just install Windows 10 or Linux, as you would normally. Just make sure you write the image for GPT UEFI and not MBR BIOS. I think just to make sure everything's working correctly, I'll try and boot into a Linux Mint Live USB. I've just put the flash drive in the side of the laptop. We'll go down to boot menu and we'll go down to USB generic mass storage device. Press enter and hopefully we get to the boot screen. There we go, Linux Mint. We'll boot into it just to make sure. There's our Linux Mint logo and we're on the Linux Mint desktop. So now we know our new CoreBoot firmware is working. I'll power off the device and we'll reconnect our battery. Now it's powered off, I'll just unplug the USB-C charger. We've just flipped it back over. We'll take the case back off. This is why we didn't clip it back down. And we want to very carefully reconnect the battery. Again, try not to damage anything. Just line it up nice and easy and slide it in with your thumbnail. There we go. That's done. Make sure the ribbon's down nice and flush. We'll put it all back together and test it once more to make sure we can still get into the UEFI menu. So I've put it all back together and the battery was at 100% before unplugging it, but when I press the power button, nothing happens. Don't panic, you do just have to briefly connect a USB-C charger to trigger it, and once the charge is connected, you can just remove it and run it from battery as you would normally. It is just a bit of a quirk with these Chromebooks. Connected the charger, just press the power button, and there's our CoreBoot logo, press escape, and we're back into the UEFI options. As when modifying anything, there is always a risk you can permanently damage it, and for this laptop in particular, it is still getting regular Chrome OS updates, so you probably wouldn't want to do it to this normally, but for laptops that are out of service period and no longer receiving Chrome OS updates, they eventually become pretty much useless since modern sites like YouTube won't let you access it. And in that case, since the device is pretty much useless, you may as well try and install this custom firmware. I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.